And they raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they say. Horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about this house. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out great tits. New York's
We're the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the New Orleans Saints and the Cleveland Browns. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fields it right around the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's putted out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Here's Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was the first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Returnable for Grant. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9. Watson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
Here's Watson.
They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. They just do get the play off. Now Winston. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Watson now to throw.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because There's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
On first down, they run with Kamara as he'll take it forward for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Winston. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
It'd be interesting to see what he decides to do the next time he's in the position we just saw there. Outside of the pocket, takes a throw downfield, it turns up incomplete. I wonder if next time he might take off and run.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Jameis to throw it. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And what a great call defensively there, because they decided to bring pressure off the corner. And a lot of times, those big linemen, they can't account for the speed of a defensive back. And that time, he made a beeline right for the quarterback and got it. The cat blitz, tough to defend.
Yeah, the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything, as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Watson's throw taken in by Chark.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
The Browns come into this one still undefeated despite the 1 tie. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line, as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And that one a 2-touchdown advantage now for the Seahawks. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And now Watson throws another interception.
It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Yeah, this will wind up a Saints first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. And this is incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Greg Newsom.
Power breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, this secondary just continues to be a force. Multiple interceptions in this game, and now the pick 6.
And the thing about it is, once you get an interception as a unit, you think to yourself, okay, we got that. How do we increase it the next time? Get the interception, do a little more damage, and there's your outcome right there. Take it to the house and break down what they're trying to do offensively.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They go play action. Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Winston on 3rd and 2.
Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Kamara gets it again on second down.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating that defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
3rd and short yardage, Winston. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Grant on the return. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. The Browns drive about to get started. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Play action now, Winston.
He completes it to Olave.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Chris Olave.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Saints get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room.
Following the interception, Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Off the play fake, Winston. On the move to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They give him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Thomas, the man in motion left. Now Winston. Buying time to his left.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
97 yards for him on the ground now as it has been terrific here this afternoon.
One play has him up past the 40 already.
first and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Now Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Watson. The open man is sharp. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And a short gain down to about the 33. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Watson on third down. Swings this out for Hunt. He'll get it inside the 20. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And Chubb will try the middle here. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll come out in the pistol. Chubb trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll give it to Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Out to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through,
and that'll make this a 7-point game. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. Happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
1st down, Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
He's had a big loss here as he's taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
122 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Naturally so. The defense was keyed in on everyone but the back on that play, and it took them an extra second to react when he got the carry. It's still a tough 3rd down to pick up here, but a lot more manageable after an excellent carry on 2nd down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
They come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD's second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 25 on second down, Winston. And this will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On third down, Winston. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. On first down, Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said, and my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. The York on now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, what was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
A big pickup of 38. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But sometimes, Brad, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Saints get a bit closer.
Winston to throw for it. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start. But now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
Here's Watson now on second down. And Shark calls it in.
Down inside the 10.
Touchdown! DJ Chark, 38 yards.
And the Browns are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 23. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And able to get this out to the 25.
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Open man is the tight end, Troutman.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Play action. Winston.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Again, it's Winston. And now here's another interception. Picked off by John Johnson.
And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 33.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Throwing now, Watson. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Now that's a dangerous throw right there. Moving off to his right, throwing it all the way back across field to his left. I know he had a lot of confidence in his arm, but sometimes the ball can just hang up there when it goes that distance. He was fortunate it was just incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now it's Watson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll set up a throw.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
On 4th down, Watson. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
And the kick here is good, so add 3 to the total. But they're still coming up well short, and that is how this one comes to an end.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Browns, the win is their 8th on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.